So our next guest will be on talking about the Beijing Olympics. You know, sports in many ways are the gateway drug to the crypto world. We have, you know, NFTs, all sorts of athletes issuing NFTs. We have the Super Bowl, we have the Beijing Olympics. So joining us now is Jobbé-Duval, head of financial products at Dapper Labs, the NFT company behind the Flow blockchain, NBA Top Shot, CryptoKitties, and more. Welcome, Mathieu.
Hi, guys.
Looks really warm there, too. Wonderful.
So let's just start out with, can you explain what is happening? You are doing something with the Beijing Olympics, which are happening right now. It seems to be quite successful. Can you just give us a little brief intro into what that project is?
Yeah, it's one of the multiple dApps building on Flow called Nway, who has a partnership with the Olympic Games, and they have a lot of things on the roadmap in terms of NFT universes and interactions with users and fans of the Olympics. I don't want to say too much because a lot of that is going to be a surprise, and we both really will transform the relationship that users and fans will have with the Olympics going forward, just like what NBA Top Shot did a little more than a year ago with NBA fans. So yeah, stay tuned and follow what's going on the page that we're streaming here.
So recently, Flow tokens have seen quite a surge in price, even if it's significantly off of its all-time high. What do you attribute that surge to? What do you think is the main reason for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Flow has a very interesting problem when it comes to the major top layer 1 tokens out there. There is a lot happening on the blockchain. Of course, everybody knows NBA Top Shot, everybody knows CryptoKitties, but NFL all day, UFC, the new cricket NFT universe that was launched a couple of weeks ago, and so many thousands of other dApps that are being built either in stealth or about to be live on the blockchain. All of these things really are starting to be noticed by the market, and the market realizes that actually there isn't, it's not just an NFT blockchain. This is a blockchain that is been purpose built to support mainstream dApps. Indeed, we think that the adoption is significant. We have more than 3 million wallets today on Flow, with really only a handful of dApps that have existed in 2021. So we are very, very excited with all the things that are coming live on the blockchain these days. I think that's being reflected in the price. And it also might be pricing in the recent announcement that we made that we created, Wrap Flow is being launched on Ethereum. So just like for Bitcoin and Wrap Bitcoin 2 years ago, made by BitGo, we are doing the same thing through Anchorage to create a representation of the Flow token on the Ethereum blockchain.
So, Mathieu, I want to ask you about Wrap Flow in a second, but I do want to ask this about sort of the demand for sports-related NFTs given viewership. The Olympics in the United States, at least, the Winter Olympics haven't had the kind of ratings that previous Winter Olympics have had. Do you think that the viewership affects price, even though it's been successful for you? Do you think it could have been better had there been more enthusiasm in the United States for viewership here?
That's a very interesting question. I think the relationship between NFT and the power that they bring to engagement for these mega brands, whether it is Olympics, NBA, or NFL, I think that all of these franchises are looking for the way to touch a new customer base, which might be Gen Z, which might be people in their late teens, early 20s, who just have a different kind of experience with media. If the Olympics, for example, don't have a great presence on apps such as TikTok and Instagram, maybe they struggle to touch those crowds. So really for them, for the Olympics and for these other massive franchises, NFTs might be a way to touch that population and to make them really interact with the sport that they love in a different way. So I think the viewership today is a bit early to say because the Olympics just started a few days ago, and indeed it is slow, and I think it's going to be an interesting social experiment because it's the first Olympic happening in such a environment. But we do believe that the NFTs will be hopefully a way for people to interact it deeper and in a more let's say engaging way with the Olympics in the future.
So you mentioned the Wrap Flow it being available now. It hasn't traded yet on the likes of Uniswap. We're still waiting for that. When it begins, first of all, when do you think they'll start trading? And what are your expectations? What exactly do you think will happen? What does it mean for you guys?
For sure. So Flow, USDC, and Flow ETH pools were deployed yesterday. Actually, only Flow ETH was deployed yesterday. We are going live with marketing this morning. So the assets are there. The pools are there is about $2 million worth of assets on each side. Today, this is supported by the community. And so what we really expect here is we just want Flow to be accessible by more users on more chains. It's about interoperability. Flow users today need to be able to use those assets, port it to the Ethereum blockchain, and interact with a very vibrant DeFi ecosystem that we all know and love. There is, of course, a lot of DeFi dApps being built on Flow today, nowhere close to what Ethereum has. Ethereum has the benefit of time. It's been around for many years. Flow has only been live a little more than a year. So we thought it was important to not only give our users the ability to use their Flow to maybe take out loans on lending protocols and not have to sell their Flow to get value out of it, but also bring users who are not familiar with Flow from the Ethereum ecosystem onto Flow so that then they can interact with the great dApps that have been built for many months now.
So we've been talking about this kind of merging of cryptocurrency and sports. And obviously we have a very big event coming up soon, which is the Super Bowl. And we're going to see a lot of crypto activity related to the Super Bowl, from ads to potentially giving out Bitcoin. I'm just curious to what do you expect to see in the Super Bowl? Anything notable from your end?
This is really phenomenal, I think, for the industry as a whole, regardless of NBA, and NFL all day and the different things that we will bring to light during this weekend that I cannot talk about. It's a really watershed moment for crypto. Let's remember that only 2 years ago, most people around us, around the dinner table, around our friends group, whereas, well, crypto, is it a scam? Is it not a scam? Is it a Ponzi? Is it not a Ponzi? You should never have made that career choice. God knows, probably you heard that. I certainly heard that. And now it's going to be prime time Super Bowl. It's going to be the arena is called with a major crypto company. Multiple sponsorship deals, too many of them to talk about. Tom Brady, massive household names who are really embracing the technology and the industry as a whole. And so I think beyond what that means for Dapper Labs and the Flow blockchain, it's really a moment that we can all be proud of because we crossed the threshold. And it is a time to reflect and to be happy about that because I don't think we're ever going to go back to what the narrative was before.